This was a fail. Yep, these were supposed to be English muffins. And I think they're so rubbery. This is not what we're making. This was a fail. So let's move on. Hi everyone, it's Bonnie. And today we're going to make a recipe that I've tried before for English muffins. Now, I did a fail yesterday. I tried a totally different recipe and I tried a different method, and guess what? It failed. I'll show you a few clips of that. So yes, things fail, but I don't let it defeat me. I just try again. And I flub, make mistakes, and learn from it. I won't do it again. So come on, we're gonna make English muffins. Okay, so for our English muffins, I'm going to be using my food processor, my KitchenAid, my favorite gadget. Well worth the money, you guys. So now, what I've done, started off by either on the stove or in the microwave. I've heated milk, and I'll have all the ingredients below. Milk and brown sugar. Now, it calls for honey, but I can't have honey. So I've added 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, and I'm heating this. I heat it in the microwave. It's to be 105 Fahrenheit. So you could do it on the stove top, or I do the microwave. It's just as fast. So I'm gonna wait. It heated a little bit too much, but that's okay. I'm gonna wait for that temperature to come down. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do to my food processor, I'm going to add 5 cups of flour. Yes, you can go to the store and get English muffins. But you know what? I think it's wonderful. Now see, I shouldn't talk because I don't know how many I put in there. So hold on. Okay, was that a senior's moment? Maybe. I just can't. These women that can talk and measure at the same time, it's not me. So anyway, there we are. 5 cups of all-purpose flour. And to that, I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And a half. You need the salt to balance out all your flavors. Salt is needed. Not a huge amount, but enough. All right, so what I'm going to do is just mix that all together. And I'm bringing this temperature down. And to this milk measurement of 2 cups, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of melted butter or margarine. Just pour that in there. Okay, to that warm milk mixture of milk, brown sugar, I added 2 1/4 1/4 teaspoon of instant yeast and let that set for 5 minutes. And then I whisked in an egg and I poured it into my KitchenAid, and I'm going to mix it for 5 to 6 minutes. This is my dough hook, so it acts as, it mixes the dough a little bit better. I'm going to mix it till that kind of comes together nice, and I'll be back. Okay, so it's been about 4 or 5 minutes that has mixed together, and it is smooth and sticky. That's the way I want it. I've scraped it a couple of times so that any of the flour that's gathered at the bottom is mixed in well as well. I have my bowl that is, I've greased it, and I'm going to pour that sticky dough in there. Okay, so there's my sticky mess. Now don't forget, this is not bread, this is English muffins. So this is not quite the same as rolls or your regular white bread. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this, just a towel, keep it in a draft free space area of your kitchen, and leave it for about an hour. Okay, this dough has been rising for an hour and it is double in size. And I'm going to turn it over onto my work surface. This dough is sticky, so I'm going to flour it, my surface, lightly, and I'm going to turn that out. There. Now I'm just going to just deflate it and just enough flour so that my hands aren't sticking to it. Just roll it, just deflate it. There. That's pretty good. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is cut this dough in half. Set one aside, and 1/2 I'm just going to, this recipe calls for about 16 muffins or 24 small ones, so I'm going to do 16. So I'm going to divide this into 8, about 8. Let's do big ones. Let's do 6. Okay, so I'm going to what I've got is a parchment paper, and I've lightly dusted it with cornmeal. And I'm just going to form these into balls. If it's too sticky for you to work with, then just flour your fingers. I'm going to continue doing that with all of my dough. Okay, I actually got 15 out of here. So I've got that on my parchment paper, and I'm just going to lightly dust the top with cornmeal. And then once again, I'm going to cover these in a draft-free area for 1 hour. Okay, so my English muffins have been rising for an hour. They're double in size. And what I have here is a dry griddle. And I'm going to be browning these on each side for about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna lift these carefully. I don't wanna deflate them. I'm going to do about 4 at a time. If you've got an electric griddle, that would be good. I don't have one. So I got a little bit of flour. They're pretty sticky. So I found that if I just floured my hands a little bit better, then I could lift that. I have my oven preheated to 325 because once these are browned on each side, I'm going to put them back in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. You just don't want them to burn. I'll flip a couple of these over. There. It's nice and brown. And if you find your pan's getting too brown, then just lower your temperature a bit. So I'm going to continue doing this, and then I will be putting it in the oven to finish. Okay, there's my finished English muffins. I baked them in the oven for about 15 minutes. I finished off after being in the griddle, and I think they've turned out really good. Nice and thick and fluffy, nicely browned. So let's see how they taste. Okay, so there's my muffins that I've toasted, and I'm going to serve them with homemade blueberry jam. And that blueberry jam was actually made in the microwave. So my next episode I will show you how I did that. So give this recipe a try. I think you'll like it. It's easy, and they turned out really yummy. So have a great day. God bless you. So here I am with my English muffin outside, and gonna take the first bite. Delicious. A keeper. Okay, here he goes. This is the test. What do you think?
Delicious.
Yeah, and the jam?
Really, really delicious.
Is it a keeper?
Very much. Thumbs up.